play here. Today we reacting to Wansee team, and I know I like Wansee team, but like reacting to it. So I'm gonna read up the opinion on Twitter because of reasons. So we're going to watch that video. We're gonna watch his videos. We're gonna watch 3 of his videos of this Toy Story, but this is the first one. So the first one we'll react to is Extreme Neighbor Horror Story Animated. So it means a horror story where there's a Extreme Neighbor. Let's watch it. Neighbor.
A man recently moved into our neighborhood. His name was Tony.
Tony.
One day, he invited the neighbors for dinner, and I ended up attending the gathering. So, a group of about 3 neighbors gathered at his house for a meal. We were having a pleasant dinner when suddenly he spoke up.
Everyone, I have a dream. Will you help me achieve my dream?
One of the neighbors, Jerry, responded.
Of course. What is it? I'll help you no matter what.
Then Tony abruptly stood up and went to the kitchen. After a while, he came back wearing white gloves and said,
I need to fill a record of 30 people, and it seems like that record will be achieved today.
We couldn't quite understand what he was talking about, so we chuckled and asked,
What record?
But then, one by one, the neighbors who were eating started to stagger and collapse. It was only then that I realized that he had drugged the food. He said,
This will be my final murder in life. Finally, I will achieve my dream, and from now on, I will completely quit and live a quiet life.
What?
Then he began to choke Jerry's neck with his hands. Jerry struggled and fell, causing the table to overturn and the room to become a mess. We did our best to stop him. Fortunately, I hadn't eaten much, so my mind was still clear. I shouted at Tony to stop, but he just laughed and said,
Once you've set a goal, you must never change it. That's the only way to achieve it.
He continued choking Jerry's neck. At that moment, Randy, who was next to him, tried to stop Tony, and I immediately called the police.
Good.
However, Jerry already appeared to be dead.
Yeah.
Tony then turned to strangle Randy. I punched Tony in the face with all my strength, but my body didn't have much power behind it. I watched Randy dying and felt my consciousness fading away. Just as I thought I was about to die, I heard the sound of police sirens, and Tony quickly started to flee. I held on to his ankle with all my strength and didn't let go. While he cursed and stomped on me, I screamed in pain, praying for this moment to end quickly. Soon the police arrived and arrested him. However, both Jerry and Randy were already lifeless. According to the police investigation, Tony was confirmed to have committed 7 murders and was sentenced to life imprisonment.
Good.
However, he told the police that he had killed 22 more people, but he refused to reveal where the bodies were.
Yeah.
So, it was unclear whether his words were true or false. However, somehow I have a feeling that his words might be true, because he killed people so easily, without any remorse or hesitation. His expressions and gestures were so relaxed and comfortable, and above all else, I can't forget the words he uttered when the police arrived at the front door.
Damn it. Only 29 so far.
Wow. Serious, he really killed them. 29 people. He just killed. You are a man. You're a man. He's a man. I cannot understand. Yeah, he's a man though. So what's the basic video is the bones. I think he was really talking about the bones or something. Let's watch it.
They ordered pineapple. You gotta smell the butt to know if it's right.
Bones.
I'm a very light-weighted person, but I didn't expect that it would lead me into such a big trap. One day, while looking for a part-time job, I saw a notice from a medical student who was looking for a skinny male model to study the skeletal structure of the human body. I thought it was perfect and immediately made a phone call. I went to his house, and a tall man, over 6'2" and weighing over 250 pounds, greeted me. He was very friendly. Soon, he began to closely observe the bones in my body. After a while, he took out a syringe. I was very surprised and asked him what he was doing, and he quietly said,
I'll kill you without pain, so please stay still.
I screamed and kicked him before running away. I ran frantically and entered a room, locking the door behind me. In that room, there were numerous mannequins shaped like skeletons. At first, I thought they were just models, but when I approached them, I could be certain. Those were not models, but actual human bones. Unknowingly, I let out a scream. Then, from outside the room, I heard laughter and a voice saying,
It's impressive, huh? You'll become one of those skeleton models, too.
He started shaking the doorknob like crazy. I quickly put on the clothes in the room, trying to avoid getting pricked by the syringe. I had left my phone in the living room, so I couldn't call the police. Eventually, I had to leave that room and escape from the house. I opened the door, and he tried to inject me with the syringe, but I dodged him and punched him as hard as I could. However, he was a man more than twice my size, and I desperately punched him in the face with all my might. He screamed in pain. I used every ounce of strength I had and beat him relentlessly.
Wow.
He couldn't resist properly and took the hits. Then, I ran out of there and escaped. I immediately reported it to the police, and he was soon captured by the police. They investigated the DNA of the bones in his house and confirmed that they belonged to the missing people. He was sent to prison. While entering the prison, he begged not to take away the skeletons. It sent chills down my spine. But later, when I looked back on the incident, I realized one thing. He was twice my size, so he could have easily subdued me or beaten me down with his strength. However, he never had any intention of hitting me and didn't try to overpower me physically. He only wanted to inject me with a syringe and didn't attempt anything else. I pondered over why that was the case, and one thought came to my mind. If he had hit me, my bones could have been damaged. So he didn't hit me on purpose. He wanted to take my bones intact.
Dang. That's crazy. He wanted to take his bones away from him. That's why. That's why he wanted to kill him so much. So let's watch our last one. Let's watch our original last one. So this video we're going to watch is The Beauty of Death. Oh, sorry. I think it's like it's a Beauty of Death, so let's watch it. The Beauty of Death.
One day, my friend Austin asked me,
Brandon, what do you think is the most beautiful thing in the world?
I pondered for a moment and replied,
Well, flowers, nature, or women.
Austin then said expressionlessly,
The most beautiful thing in the world is the sight of someone dying. Their desperate plea for help. No one else in this world possesses a more desperate heart than at that moment. Isn't it truly beautiful? And when they face their impending death, they fight for their lives with everything they have. It's the moment they act most passionately in their lives. If they don't face death, they will live their lives without experiencing such passion. It's truly tragic. That's why every human being must be murdered.
I was taken aback from his passionate and chilling gaze. Yes, he was sincere. In an attempt to change the somber atmosphere, I forced a smile and said,
That's an interesting thought. So, does that mean you have to be murdered, too?
He glared at me and replied,
No, I have to stay alive until the end. I have to kill them all.
and then he said something else.
Brandon, let's save humanity together. Put an end to their lifeless existence and create a climax in their lives. Just like a flower that blooms and then withers.
Oh,
The
wow.
only way to do that is through murder.
Fear gripped me. I wanted to refuse, but when I saw the madness in his eyes, I couldn't bring myself to do it. If I refused, he would surely kill me. A few days later, he showed me a video.
Brandon, take a look. Another masterpiece has been born.
In the video, a person was hanging upside down. Below them was a large drum filled with water, and it was labeled as hydrochloric acid.
Oh,
The
wow.
person was screaming for help. Austin said,
Look into this person's eyes. Have you ever seen such a desperate gaze? People in today's world have empty eyes, as if everything bores them. But in reality, they all had eyes as vivid as this person's. Isn't it truly beautiful? Isn't it?
He shouted with exhilaration in his voice, as if roaring in triumph. I trembled in fear. He delightedly replayed the video over and over again. Eventually, the person was dissolved in the acid, and Austin cheered and applauded.
Ah, it's truly perfect.
In the end, I went home and reported it to the police, and he was arrested, and he sent me a letter from prison.
Brandon, because of you, my plan to save the world has been ruined. Just watch. This world will turn into hell. You will feel the weight of your mistake deeply.
Oh, wow.
Or you can come to your senses now and execute my plan instead. Then, this world can be saved. Kill all those with lifeless eyes and bring vitality back to this world.
Oh, wow. Seriously. So he wants to get him back. I can tell Brandon to not do it. I'll tell him to not. I'll tell him to not do it. I'll tell him to not. Do not. So let's watch our last one. And let's watch our last one. The man in my dreams. Horse race. I think it's like the man. His dream. That's gonna be our last video. So let's watch.
With SpotMe, I can overdraft up to $200 fee-free.
Install the Chime app today.
The man in my dreams.
One day, I started to have very vivid dreams and became able to do anything I want in them. At first, in my dreams, I flew around in the air or explored various places. But at some point, I embarked on more and more provocative things. I enjoyed beating passers-by and robbing shops, the things I couldn't do in real life. Then the police arrived and tried to suppress me, and since I was invincible in my dreams, I was able to defeat them all. Then one day, when I was on my way home from work, a person who looked somewhat familiar was staring at me from afar. I looked closely to see if he was someone I knew, and I was shocked. He was the police officer who tried to arrest me in my dreams. His looks were so peculiar that I could remember him. His eyes were abnormally big. His chin was very long and pointy. And his skin was awfully red. Why is he here? For a moment I thought it was a dream, but it was clearly reality. He approached me with a blank expression, grabbed me by the collar and lifted me up. I was so startled by his tremendous power, and I screamed at him. "What are you doing?" The people around us stopped me, and I hurriedly left. The man was staring at me expressionless until I was out of his sight. From that night, I no longer played around in my dreams because I was so horrified. I continued to live peacefully for a while, but as time passed, I started to make a fuss again to relieve stress. I broke into any random house in my dream and made a mess. But a few days later, when I was going to work, a man grabbed my shoulder. And when I looked around, I realized he was again the police officer in my dream. I was startled. Then he started choking me. I was perplexed and shouted, "Why are you doing this?" And he replied, looking at me, "Don't disrupt our world's order." I was gasping as I couldn't breathe, and people around us pulled us apart, and I ran away like crazy. Since then, the man appeared in my dreams every night, so I no longer played around in my dreams. I mean, I couldn't. As I stopped committing bad things in my dreams, I no longer ran into that man in real life. I thought it was a good thing, but my doubt still remains unsettled. Who was he? Was he really the man I saw in my dreams?
Yeah.
Then does he know everything about what I did in my dream?
Yeah. Oh, wow. You know everything what you done in dreams. That's crazy. Okay, I'm gonna end the video right here because I want to watch 4 videos of this video so I can, yeah, subscribe to Wansee channel. Here's good videos. And so if you want me to react to more of the videos, I will do another video of it. So if you want me to do more. So join the squad. Love you. Bye bye.